So this evening we'll continue our discussion on the nature of Bhava Bhakti. Bhava Bhakti is, as we know, one of the three stages of Bhakti in maturation from Sadhana Bhakti. The goal of Sadhana Bhakti is Bhava Bhakti, and Bhava Bhakti is a ray of the sun of Prem, Premasuyangsu Samyabhak. As such, it is not bhakti in practice, and it has emotive content as opposed to sadhana bhakti, which has active content, wherein bhakti takes its place, her place, on our senses and engages them. And the imitation of a good thing is a good thing, they say sometimes. So, to go through the motions, and of course learn the teaching, gathered sambandha gyan and so forth, that will fuel our practice until emotion comes. Of course there'll be some emotion, some grace in sadhana also, but in Bhava Bhakti then this is not sadhana bhakti. So the emotive component of bhakti is fully operative. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam, Bhakti Rut Anushilanam. As we know, the verbal root for the word shilanam, shil implies these two things, an active and a contemplative, if you will, or outer and inner component to bhakti. So in Bhava Bhakti, this inner component is in place, and therefore it's no longer bhakti in practice, but it's not bhakti in perfection either. It's a ray of the sun of Prem, which is the perfectional stage of bhakti. So it has elements of sadhana because there is a culture, an ongoing culture and practice in Bhava Bhakti, but it's different in a sense from sadhana bhakti, although similar, but it's different in that that inner life and inner cultivation is active in a way that it's not, or in a measure to which it's not in sadhana bhakti. And while it's different from sadhana bhakti, it's also different from prem bhakti because it's, again, only a ray of the sun of Prem. And so in Bhava Bhakti, you have the Bhav Ankur, the sprout of Bhav, and it reaches up to the point, and that Bhav means Sthayi Bhav. Now when that Sthayi Bhav becomes perfect, by the admixture of the other ingredients, bhavas, then the differentiation between them is lost in their merging in one another, which we call bhakti rasa. So this is the perfection of the Sthayi Bhav. Sthayi Bhav has two stages, only the sprout of that. And that's why we'll hear later on in the chapter, we're reading from Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that there may be possibility by offense in Bhava Bhakti that the sthayi can change or can turn into only a shadow of Bhav. We think that's hard to understand because sthayi Bhav means the dominant emotion, the emotion that defines the devotee as a friend of Krishna, as the lover of Krishna, and so forth. It's the basis of the whole world of Rasananda. And it's not that you change from one sthayi bhav to another. But if it's only in the budding stage, it needs to be cultivated. And if it's not cultivated, we, by chance, it's very, very seldom, rare, but it's possible that by offense. There are examples. Examples there of whom? In this Rupa Kabiraj, said to have made an offense. He was holding a Bhagavad discourse. Devotees were assembled. One Mataji was there and listening to the Bhagavad discourse and chanting. And he said, you should not chant while hearing the Bhagavatam. Obviously, you're not paying attention. So she said, no, I can't stop chanting. I've tried, but I can't. My tongue is just moving. So he dismissed her and made offense to someone who actually couldn't stop her tongue from chanting, who had realized the Bhagavatam in a sense. It was a catastrophe for him, and the whole Upasampradaya was sprouted from Rupa Kaviraj. Later, his deviation was pointed out by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It was a question as to Rupa Goswami's verse, Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi. One should serve Krishna in the sadhaka deha and the siddha, internal siddha deha. So Rupa Kaviraj was thinking, therefore we should do the services of the gopis in our sadhaka deha and our siddha deha. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur pointed out, no, we should do the services exemplified by the gopis in their sadhaka dehas when they appear as the Goswamis, for example. They weren't acting like gopis, they were acting like sadhus in their sadhaka deha, their practitioners' bodies, if you will. They had, of course, perfected practitioners' bodies. Nana Shastra Vicharana Kanupano Saddharma Samstapa. What is it? Other verse, Sad Goswami Astakam. Purvan, what is it? Sankhya Purva Kanama Gananati Bihi. Sankhya Purva. They were chanting a number of rounds regularly. They forgot to eat and sleep and so forth. They weren't acting like gopis. They were acting like sadhakas, perfect sadhakas. So in our sadhaka deha, their example should be followed. That will beget a siddha deha in due course that will be cultivated in bhava bhakti. I often say that people want a siddha deha, but they don't want a sadhaka deha. The Guru gives a sadhaka deha, the practitioner's body, by giving us the mantra, name, and so forth, and parameters within which to live. And our life is meant to orbit around that. So this is no longer a conditioned soul in a sense, it's somewhere in between. He's a sadhaka, she's a sadhaka. That sadhaka body, deha, needs to be perfected. So that the senses that the body's made up of, as I said the other night, are only in touch with sense objects for the purpose of satisfying the senses of Krishna. This is bhakti, after all. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruta. When our senses are engaged in the service of the senses of Krishna. So, people want a siddha deha, but they don't want a sadhaka deha. They don't want to do the heavy lifting of withdrawing their senses from sense objects, and it's all based on an enjoying, exploitive ego that we're possessed of, and converting that into a serving ego. You see, the exploiting ego, the conventional ego, I'm American, Indian, black, white, whatever may be the case, man or woman, this is a particular perspective, obviously, that through which we see the world, the objects of the senses, as things to enjoy within the context of our sense of self. So they are not cooperating. It's understandable. We have a very small perspective. They have another role in the mind of God, if you will. So we take the life out of things by this enjoying ego. We don't allow things to have a life of their own, if you will. Like we talk about the animated nature of the spiritual world. This is why it's animated, if you will, because there's no exploitive ego. So, anyway, the conversion, right, from the enjoying ego to the serving ego. This is the hard work. Once I was in Sri Navadvip Dham at Chaitanya Saraswat Math, one of my godbrothers asked Pujapad Sridhar Maharaj, who he was visiting there and spending some time, he asked for some service. And so Sridhar Maharaj thought for a minute, he said, yes. He said, try to change your angle of vision while you're here. Now, picking up after the cows or washing dishes or something, it's a lot easier to go through the motions than to actually change your angle of vision. But that's what it's all about, actually. And that's the heavy lifting. And so we want a siddha deha, but we don't want a sadhaka deha. We don't even want, that Siddhadeha is full of all these ecstatic movements, anubhavs, sattvika bhavs, appear external, the sanchari bhavs, internally, and so on. So it's a whole world of ecstasy. The picture that Rupa Goswami has painted, a whole world of ecstasy. Everything is ecstasy there. We want all that movement, asta sattvika vikar, such transformations. But with our sadhaka deha, we're not even flexible enough to trinadapi, sunicina, and bow our head. That's why we have heard in our previous class where Rupa Goswami explained how bhava bhakti is attained. Two ways, by sadhana and by kripa. And he explained, of course, two types of kripa. That of the devotee, that of Krishna, and from Krishna, three types within that. And what did he say about sadhana? What is sadhana? How, by what kind of sadhana will we attain this bhava? What did he say? Nishta, yes, that kind of, that will beget ruchi, that will beget asakti, that will beget bhava. And Mahaprabhu says the same thing. He says, Trinatapi sunichena tororapi seshna namanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. This is nishta. Kirtaniya sadahari. The devotee is fixed. He's firm and he's very flexible at the same time. Firm in commitment and conviction, but very flexible because the rules and regulations have now turned into realizations. There's no longer a black and white picture of what it is. There are many shades of gray, many meanings. The road, as I say, is straight. It's not curved anymore. In Anishta Bhajana Kriya, there's a learning curve. There are ups and downs. But in Nishta, intelligence is fully committed. Understanding of the goal, the Shastra is in place, and so the road is straight, but it's, as I say, what? Wide. It's not narrow. It's straight, but it's not narrow. It's very broad. One's humbled by the prospect that lies ahead. As we enter into the embrace of the infinite, we feel finite. But it feels okay, because he's infinitely, what? Affectionate. Yes. It's okay for the finite to be in the embrace of the infinite. Sounds a little daunting at first, but he's infinitely affectionate. So, from this kind of sadhana, it means bhava will come in due course. If the sadhana remains in anishta, up and down, it's not going to come. So this sadhaka deha has to be perfected. And as it is, proportionately, then there's prospect of a siddha deha manifesting. So use your sadhaka deha wisely. Shed, in the words of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, be prepared to shed every drop of blood in the service of Mahaprabhu. Live for that alone. This is what the sadhaka deha is about. Then, surely, the Swarup Shakti will be. They're not. The Swarup Shakti is not blind, and also not stingy. Very, very generous. So you will make a way in a prominent sense into the heart, and this is, of course, Bhava Bhakti. Shuddhasatma Visheshatma. Prema Suryangsu Samibhak. The ingress of Hladini and Samvit. Now, this ingress, as I say, it comes first as the sprout. So the sprout of Bhava. Bhavankur. And this comes up in the verse tonight. He says, Jata Bhavankure Jane. And he says it, what? The birth of the sprout of Bhava in a person is identified by various symptoms. And it's not falling on the ground and swooning. And there was a case like this early on in Prabhupada's mission in England, where some Indian fellow attended the kirtan that the devotees were having, and every time the kirtan started, he would fall on the ground and swoon and roll around. And so they didn't know what to do, so they wrote Prabhupada, and Prabhupada wrote back, said, kick him and see what happened. Of course, he was upset with that, and that was the end of that. So imitation is not always a good thing. Right, so that's the other side of that. We are to follow, not to imitate. So this is very instructive, because he's going to list here a number of symptoms that we can look for, which will be the sure signs of that the sprout of bhava has come. Prabhupada refers to them in his Nectar Devotion as the preliminary symptoms of bhava. Bhava is there, but not fully there. It's in only just sprouting, and these symptoms will come. This is very, very useful for us. As I've said before, well, we take, for example, the verse of the Goswamis are most fond of citing with regard to describing the Guru. Tasmad Guru prapadyeta jignasu shaya uttamam. Shabde parecha nishnatam brahmani upashamashrayam. Tasmat Guru prapadyeta. Therefore, one should take shelter of the Guru who Tasmad Guru prapadyeta jignasu shaya uttamam. In no uncertain terms, the verse describes the character, the quality of the disciple. Jignasu shreya uttamam. In the words of Prabhupada, who wants to make a comprehensive solution to the problems of life. He's not trying to treat a cancer with a Band-Aid. A comprehensive solution. Takes some courage to, as a friend of mine said, walk into the mouth of Aghasura. With confidence that Krishna will protect me. This is Sharanagati. Rakshikshatri vishvasvo gopritve varanam tata. And this is for sadhana bhakti. That will beget this pave the way, if you will, cleanse the heart for bhava to enter. So he says, what? Jignasu shreya uttam. That the disciple, who probably used to say, not everybody needs a guru. Again, only one who wants to make a comprehensive solution. So jignasu shreya uttam means who makes an inquiry into the shreya uttam, ultimate good, with earnestness, wants to know the whole truth, not the part. And he or she wants to know the truth, not to just know it and say, good, and go on with my life. I wanted to know the truth, and I found out. Now I get on with my life. Not like that. Not in theory. Not in one ear and out the other, or not in the ear, just to circle around in the head. And be spit out every now and then on somebody to make yourself feel better than them. No, to go into your heart and change the heart. Again, this is the heavy lifting. So.